Did you know that too much sugar in your diet directly impacts your body's ability to absorb vitamin C? Most people have now got the memo that sugar is bad for our health. When we consume too many foods that are high in sugar, including excessive amounts of starchy carbohydrates, which rapidly convert to sugar in the body, we put ourselves at an increased risk of obesity, developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, dementia, and even cancer. But what you may not know is that excessive sugar also puts us at an increased risk of vitamin C deficiency. Vitamin C is an essential vitamin that we need to make energy, stress hormones, to maintain healthy teeth and gums. We also need vitamin C to absorb iron from our food and to activate our immune system and help fight infections. So what does that have to do with sugar? Well, when we look at how the body uses sugar, we have to look at a molecule called glucose. This is sugar at its most basic level. All the cells in our body use glucose to make energy. And chemically speaking, sugar and vitamin C are actually quite similar molecules. Now, I promise I won't go too deep here, but I'm going to give you just a tiny little bit of chemistry to explain. So please stay with me for a minute. The glucose molecule is made up of 6 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen atoms. And in chemistry, we write that as C6H12O6. Now, vitamin C is almost the same, except it has 4 fewer hydrogen atoms. So in chemistry, we can represent vitamin C as C6H8O6. You with me so far? Now, did you know that most animals don't need to consume vitamin C from their diet because they can make all the vitamin C they need out of glucose? That's because most animals produce a handy little enzyme that chops a few hydrogens off of glucose, and voila, vitamin C. For example, an average-sized goat makes around 13,000 milligrams of vitamin C every day, except when they get sick. In which case they can make a lot more than that, because when animals get sick, humans included, their need for vitamin C goes through the roof. Now, sadly, humans, along with other primates, the fruit bat, and the guinea pig, are the only animals that can't make their own vitamin C, because somewhere along the line, we lost the ability to produce that enzyme that converts glucose into vitamin C. So we have to get vitamin C from our diet. Now, in order for any substance to be used by the body, it must first enter our cells using tiny little doorways, which we call receptors, that reside on the surface of the cell. And these doorways allow specific molecules to slip through so they can do their work inside the cell, whether that's making energy or fighting infection. The thing is, we need both glucose and vitamin C in the body, but there's only one problem. It just so happens that both sugar and vitamin C use the same doorway or cellular receptor to get into the cell. Now, glucose is fundamental to energy production. In fact, if glucose levels get too low, it could actually be quite dangerous, especially for the brain. And for this reason, glucose takes priority over vitamin C. And in the presence of lots of sugar in the bloodstream, vitamin C is at a disadvantage, and it may struggle to get into our cells where it's needed. And so our cells can become deficient much more easily. You can kind of look at these cell receptors as parking spaces. And there are only so many spaces available on the cell surface. And glucose will always get a priority pass and occupy that space first. So if you're consuming lots of sugar or foods that convert to sugar, even if you're consuming some vitamin C at the same time, glucose gets priority. And so there are no more parking spaces available, and vitamin C then has to drive around and around looking for a space until it gives up and exits the body unused.
Oh, okay.
And that's a real shame, because vitamin C is water soluble, which means that even when we are absorbing it, we don't store it in the body. So we need a constant supply of it, which means that it doesn't take us very long to become deficient. And this can show up with symptoms like bleeding gums, easy bruising, spider veins, fatigue, achy joints, and frequent colds and flus. So if we want to maximize our vitamin C levels, there's really 2 things we can do. We have to aim to eat vitamin C-rich foods at every meal, and we can do this by eating fresh fruits and vegetables. Most fruits and vegetables contain good levels of vitamin C, but at the top of the list are vegetables like red peppers, tomatoes, and the whole cruciferous family of vegetables. And in the fruit department, there are kiwis, black currants, strawberries, and of course, citrus fruits. But on top of that, we really want to do our utmost to cut the sugar in our diet. And so yes, that means reducing our intake of sugary foods and drinks like sweets and candies, cookies and cakes and biscuits, and of course, fizzy drinks. But we should also avoid drinking lots of fruit juice. A glass of orange juice, although it contains some vitamin C, has almost as much sugar in it as a can of Coke. So you're far better off eating the orange than drinking it. And we should also be aware that starchy carbohydrates like potatoes, rice, and things that are made of flour like bread, these foods can dramatically elevate our blood sugar. And when we depend on them at most meals, over time, this may be preventing our body's ability to use the vitamin C we're actually consuming. So if you're looking for another reason to cut back on sugar in your diet, this is it. Especially as we go into the winter months when our immune system needs all the help it can get. We know how important vitamin C is for immunity. We hope you found that video interesting. If you want to learn more about how nutrition impacts health, there's loads of content on our channel just waiting for you to check out. But first, please give this video a like and remember to subscribe to our channel. See you next time.